The senator from Tennessee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Every day, our nation's ICE officers are putting their lives on the line to get criminal, illegal aliens out of the communities. And I wanted to see firsthand what they were going through, so this past weekend, I joined a ride-along with ICE agents outside of Nashville. Until you're actually on the ground, you do not appreciate the amount of work that goes into their operations. They are identifying the criminal illegal aliens. They are finding out where they are, and they're figuring out the safest way to surveil them and also to apprehend them. And it is so much more than a full-time job. As I visited with the agents, what I found out is that nearly every one of them are working 75 and 80 hours a week dealing with some of the worst criminals imaginable. Now, when I joined the agents for the ride-along, they were targeting a criminal illegal alien who had been convicted of child sexual abuse. The agents could see a child on the individual's property, but they could not enter the home because they are not given a warrant. Instead, they have to wait until the criminal comes outside or is in a public space, and then they're able to apprehend him. That's why it is so important that local law enforcement work with our ICE agents. In Democrat cities with sanctuary policies, however, our federal law enforcement is facing an uphill battle. Recently, amid violent anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles, a mob surrounded ICE agents who had taken an illegal alien into custody. Amid the commotion, a group of men jumped out of a van and grabbed the suspect, helping him flee from the agents. According to recent reports, LAPD refused to send out an alert to track down the vehicle. They didn't want to run afoul of LA's sanctuary city policies. What we also know is these ICE agents nationwide have seen a 500% increase in attacks against them. Now, all of this should not be happening in our nation's cities, which is why Congress should do everything that we can to support the ICE agents and work to make America safe again. My CLEAR Act would ensure that state and local law enforcement officials have the explicit authority to assist federal government resources in our immigration enforcement efforts, codifying the 287G program that is absolutely so critical to local law enforcement. I also introduced legislation that would make it illegal to dox federal immigration officials who are working to protect our communities. Last month, Nashville's Democrat mayor did exactly that, handing information about federal law enforcement agents on a silver platter to criminal gangs. Meanwhile, House Democrat leader Jeffries said ICE agents should be unmasked, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes. This appalling effort from Democrats comes at the time when, as I said, these agents are facing a 500% increase in assaults. 500%. Just last week, a criminal illegal alien in Minnesota used his car to drag an ICE officer 50 yards while that criminal was trying to evade arrest. President Trump and Republicans understand that law enforcement deserves our unwavering support. That's why we're going to do what it takes to help them. Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the next portion of my remarks be placed separately in the record.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. This weekend, the U.S. military did something absolutely incredible. With Operation Midnight Hammer, the United States of America wiped out Iran's nuclear program. For years, the Islamic Republic has unleashed chaos across the Middle East with terrorism, murder, and violence. All the while, they worked to develop nuclear weapons while they were chanting, "Death to Israel and death to America." Now, under President Trump's decisive leadership, that threat is eliminated, thanks to the bravery, valor, and unmatched capability of the U.S. military. It is hard not to be in awe when you read the details of the operation. Departing from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, our service members flew 7 B-2 Spirit bombers for 18 hours to Iran's nuclear sites, dropped more than 400,000 pounds in bunker buster bombs, and returned home with 0 casualties. At the same time, a U.S. submarine under U.S. Central Command launched more than 24 Tomahawk cruise missiles at the regime's nuclear infrastructure. Supporting the operation were more than 125 aircraft, including dozens of aerial refueling tankers. Make no mistake, we have the only military on the planet that could get this job done, and it's because our brave service members are the greatest fighting force in the history of the world. Every single American should be grateful for the men and women who carried out Operation Midnight Hammer. Because of their efforts, a ceasefire has already been reached between Israel and a much weaker Iran. This is what peace through strength looks like, and only the U.S. military under President Trump's leadership could accomplish this feat. I yield the floor.